Hello everyone, my name is Mrs. Thompson and this video lesson is a 21st century after-school session for the Jamestown Public Schools. This after-school session is geared towards students in grades 1 through 4. During this session we are going to be learning a little bit more about sea creatures. Can you think of any animals that live in the sea? I'm sure you can. We're going to learn more about sea creatures in today's book, Incredible Sea Creatures, by Catherine Knight. So why don't we go ahead and get started with this wonderful story. Incredible Sea Creatures. Coral Reef. Coral reefs are beautiful underwater areas where incredible sea creatures live. Many different kinds of coral create the reef. Some are shaped like trees, others like a flower, and some are even shaped like a brain. Inside their hard outer skeletons live tiny jelly-like coral animals called polyps that build this amazing undersea world. Some of the creatures that live on a coral reef are angelfish, giant clams, sea sturgeon, tigerfish, parrotfish, clownfish, yellow boxfish, golden butterfly fish, and a dusty grouper. Many of the coral reef creatures are slow-moving and may never leave the reef. Some flutter through the water like the many-finned seahorse. Others slide along the seabed floor like many-armed starfish. Even the sea urchin, an animal that looks like a plant, is able to creep slowly over the rocks and sand. A sea anemone. Some of the loveliest reef creatures are the sea anemones. Some are small, no bigger than a grape. Others can be up to 6 feet wide. Beware though, those pretty little petal-like tentacles contain a poison that stuns small fish and other prey. Sea sponge. Sea sponge comes in all sorts of unusual shapes. Their skeletons are made of spongin. It's a stretchy material. This is where we get our natural sponges we use to wash with. A giant clam. Giant clams can live up to 60 years. Wow, that's a long time. The giant clam can grow 5 feet across and weigh 500 pounds. It opens its huge shell to feed on plankton and algae, tiny animals, and plant-like life forms. A seahorse. Fun fact. The male seahorse carries the eggs in its belly pouch until they hatch. The seahorse has a strange shape for a fish. Its tail can wind around water plants to hold it in place. To move, the little seahorse beats its fan-like fins. Sea slug. Sea slugs are the jewels of the sea. They range from 4 to 20 inches long. See the feathery fringe on its back? That helps the sea slug take in oxygen from water. Wow, sea slugs are pretty, but they're poisonous. A starfish. A starfish uses its many arms to move about and catch food. It wraps its arms around a clam and pulls the shell apart to get at the soft animal inside. Wow, a starfish can regrow an entire body from just one arm. That's crazy. Jellyfish. Jellyfish, or jellies, are not fish. They are soft sea creatures that float in open water. Their long tentacles deliver a painful poisonous sting to kill their prey. Wow, some jellies are 6 feet wide. Coral. Coral may look like a plant, but it's an animal. Its hard outer part protects the soft polyps inside. Each polyp sends out tiny stinging tentacles to catch plankton. Fun fact. Corals are related to jellies. Wow, I never would have guessed that. Would you? Spotted moray eel. What's that snake-like creature peeking out from between the rocks? It's a fish called a moray eel. Never wave your hand in front of a moray eel. It might mistake it for an octopus and bite it. Wow, moray eels can reach 6 feet long. Ribbon eel. Male ribbon eels are electric blue. The females are completely yellow. The tube-like nostrils that flare at the tips give the ribbon eel an excellent sense of smell. Ribbon eels are all males at birth. Some later become female and turn yellow. Sharks. The largest predators on the reef are sharks. Just like many of the other reef creatures, sharks have no bones. They only have firm tissues called cartilage. And like cartilage that forms in your ears, like up here in this part where it's kind of hard, that's cartilage. So you can touch your ear and kind of feel what it's like. Wow, hammerhead sharks sometimes swim in groups of up to 100. That's a lot of sharks. Hammerhead shark. The hammerhead shark has a head that looks like a hammer. Each end has an eye and a nostril. This shape helps the shark see and smell and move well through the water. Stingrays. Now those are my favorite creatures. Do you have a favorite sea creature? Well, let's find out if we can learn a little bit more about these ones so you can have a favorite sea creature. Stingrays. Stingrays are related to sharks. Like sharks, they have no bones. They are flat fish with wide fins. They flap their fins to move through the water. The stingray has a sharp barb at the end of its tail. It has poison in its barb. When the stingray strikes with its tail, it stings. Clownfish. This tiny fish was named for having stripes like a clown's face. Clownfish are able to live with sea anemones because they are not affected by their poisonous tentacles. Fun fact, the clownfish takes care of the sea anemone home by grooming it. Clown tigerfish. The dorsal fin, which is the back fin of the clownfish, can be locked to stay straight up. This allows the fish to be tightly wedged between branches in the coral. Wow, the clown tigerfish can bite through metal. Whoa, did you know that? The clown tigerfish can bite through metal. That's crazy. Must have some really strong jaws, right? Spotlight parrotfish. The spotlight parrotfish crunch into the hard outer skeleton of coral with their parrot-like beak and jaw. They can digest the soft polyps. What happens to the crushed up skeleton part? It comes out as fine white sand. Wow, the stoplight parrotfish changes color as it ages. Some are red, some are green, some are even yellow. The Miniata grouper. Groupers are powerful predators with large mouths. The Miniata grouper's bright color and spots help it hide among the coral. Wow, groupers stuck in prey with one big mouth gulp. The pellet sturgeonfish. The fish is also called the blue tang. It has spines at the base of its tail and they are razor sharp. Like the sturgeon's knives, fishermen must be very careful. Fishermen must be very careful when pulling in nets that they may hold one of these fish. Sturgeonfish eat algae with teeth that are bristly like a toothbrush. Wow, trumpetfish. Look at that harmless sticks in the water until they strike. Slurp! The trumpetfish. What an odd and incredible fish. Its trumpet snout has a hooked beak that easily traps tiny fish and it sucks in. Lionfish. This is the lionfish down here. The lionfish's elegant fins sweep through the water like butterfly wings, but beware, the spines in this fish inject a poison. Lionfish trap little fish with their long fins and gobble them up. Porcupine fish. The porcupine fish is also called a blowfish. It is incredible because it can make itself larger and rounder by gulping in water. If predators keep after it, its spiny scales will pop up like a porcupine's quills. Ouch! Fun fact, the porcupine fish has large eyes that help it look for food at night. The stonefish. The stonefish is one of the most dangerous animals in the sea. It hardly moves on the rocky seabed, and algae grows all over its bumpy skin. Fish swim up close because it looks like a stone, and soon they are made into a meal. Wow, the stonefish has spines on its back that inject deadly poison if you step on it. Humphead rice. This fish is a whopper. It's up to 6 feet long and 300 pounds. Its head has stripes and swirls that form interesting patterns. Native people of New Zealand used to tattoo themselves with the designs from the humphead rice. Wow! This curious fish will swim up close to divers and let them pet him. Wow, a mother sea turtle comes ashore to lay about 150 eggs in a hole in the sand. The hawksbill sea turtle. This graceful sea turtle is 2 to 3 feet long. Its shell is beautiful yellow and it has black markings. Look at that sharp carved mouth. It's just like a hawksbill. These turtles use their flippers like wings gliding smoothly through the water. Wow! Dugongs give birth to one calf on land. The calf can be 4 feet long. A dugong. This is a dugong. The dugong is a slow-moving, peaceful animal that is related to the manatee. It is a mammal, so it breathes air at the water's surface. It does not have much hair, but it has thick whiskers. It feeds on seed grasses, water plants, and does this usually during the day. Ocean sunfish. Out in the ocean, far from the reef, is the largest bony fish in the world, the ocean sunfish. It is 5 to 10 feet long and can weigh up to 5,000 pounds. It starts out as a tiny fry or baby fish with a normal tail fin. This tail fin stops growing, but the rest of its body grows to this huge size. Fun fact. Sunfish sometimes float sideways in the ocean surface and sunbathe. Blenny. The little blenny is found along the coast of tropical and cold seas. The long body makes it look like an eel. It has 2 whisker-like growths on its head called cirri, and these eyes at the top of its head. Blennies have slimy skin and no scales. Black gobby. The black gobby lives in waters around Europe. Do you see its large fins that touch the sea floor? It uses those to hold itself to rocks while resting and waiting for prey to come along. Male black gobbies guard their eggs against the younger male gobbies called sneakers. Common octopus. The common octopus is an intelligent animal with 8 long arms. Each arm is lined with 2 rows of suckers. The octopus is an excellent hunter. Once it spots its prey, it slides close to it, then leaps up and traps it with its arms. Its mouth has bony beak, and the beak can break into the hardest of shells. And our last one is the anglerfish. Some sea creatures live in the dark depths of the ocean, such as the anglerfish. This fearsome-looking fish has a huge mouth with a double row of sharp teeth. It has rough skin that helps it blend in with the sea floor. The anglerfish has a fishing pole that grows out of its head. It wiggles it to attract other fish. The anglerfish then strikes, gulp, and swallows the fish. Wow, there are thousands of incredible sea creatures that live beneath the waves. What did you think about that story? Did you pick out a favorite sea creature? Keep thinking about that, because after we answer our comprehension questions, I want you to tell me a little bit about your favorite sea creature by writing it in an essay. So, can you name one of the sea creatures that lives on the coral reef? That's right, a tigerfish does live on the coral reef. Can a starfish regrow from just one arm? Yeah, that's right, it can. And how long can a giant clam live? That's right, 60 years. You did amazing. So go ahead and grab your pen and paper and tell us a little bit about your favorite sea creature. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Again, my name is Mrs. Thompson, and this video lesson is a 21st century after-school session for the Jamestown Public Schools.